Welcome back to Kind Regards, the show. Picture this. You've got a bunch of work to do, you're about to start an assessment or, listen to a lecture, do some work from home, whatever. And you open up your laptop and YouTube is open and you see a thing and you go, oh, it's a short, a little YouTube short, and it's about building a sauna, and you go, oh, I wouldn't mind building a sauna perhaps in my future. And so you click on this video and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, click on this other video to learn more about building this sauna. And you go, yeah, okay, but maybe I want to build a different kind of sauna. So you search for a four-person sauna, and then you watch that video, and then 20 minutes goes by and you've watched a bunch of like comedy shorts and a bunch of like other, random sort of stuff on YouTube. And you go, oh, geez, I was supposed to be watching that lecture. And so you get out of YouTube and you feel frazzled. You feel like scattered in your mind, all scrambled up. And you go, geez, I was motivated a second ago. Oh, and now I really don't want to do the thing that I'm supposed to do. What am I going to do? How am I going to reset? How am I going to get back to the motivation? How am I going to get back to where I was? You probably don't have to imagine this. You can probably just remember the last time it happened, because I think it's a pretty common occurrence. I don't think this is like a weird situation. It literally just happened to me. Just a moment ago, I opened my laptop, checked some emails, and then I went to YouTube. Foolishly, I suppose. But then, I got stuck in this thing and I closed my laptop and I did this. I began again. Beginning again is always available to us. But it's never available. It's always available to us in one sense, but it's never available to us if we are lost in thought. Thought is so pesky. It's so cheeky. It grabs a hold of you and captures your experience in a way that we're completely lost. We're on this train and the train is hurtling through space and it's just one carriage after another, then this other thing, and then what about this? Oh, how am I going to do that thing in the future? Oh, last time I did it like this. Oh, but that won't really work this time because it's different this time. Like nonstop, and we don't even realize that we're in it. This is the lost part of lost in thought, is that we're not even aware that we're having thoughts, and yet we are identified with the thoughts. The thoughts feel like what we are, like who we are and what we are is we're completely identified with thought. When we're completely identified with thought, we don't actually have any choices because we're not thinking the thoughts are thinking us. We don't get a chance, we don't make turns, we don't get to the end of a thought and go, no, I'll have another thought. And then we have another thought. Instead, it's just nonstop. It's a relentless train. And you can't get off the train if you are lost in thought. You can only get off the train once you realize you're lost in thought, once you come to and have a moment of presence, a moment of mindfulness, or a moment of essentially meditation, or a realization of the present moment that you're actually in, instead of this sort of conceptual realm that you were lost in, this conceptual dream that you were lost in. Excuse me. And so how do we begin again? We begin again by having more moments of mindful presence, of realizing where we are, what we're doing, and by letting the train of thought go, by letting our worries about how am I going to get back on track, oh, why did I do all that stuff? This is all just thought. Oh, I shouldn't have. What did I do that for? Like, how can I stop that in the future? This is all just thought. It might be useful thought in some kind of sense. It might come about with some kind of thought-based strategy that might be useful, but it is all just more thought. It's just more getting lost. To begin again is to let all the thought go. Let it rise up. We're not trying to block it. We're not trying to stop it or resist it or force anything, but just letting it go and just going, okay, I'm here. How are my toes doing? My toes are here. Okay, all of this light and shadow in front of me. Okay, yep. What's the temperature like? Oh, yeah. But we're just feeling these things, not so much thinking them, but just feeling what's going on with us, feeling where we're at, feeling the sort of feeling tone of experience, the emotional sort of tone of experience, and watching it all just sort of change. because we're a process more than we're a fixed entity. It makes most sense to me to think of all of our body as a process. We're constantly evolving and changing. And so you just kind of let that change happen. And in the presence of that change, you are always beginning again. Presence is the acknowledgement of change. Like you can't be present without watching transformation happen, without feeling transformation happen. And in that transformation is a chance to start again, right? Because we're not trapped in the story of the past. We're not trapped in some vision of the future of how things are about to go and how we have to make the future a certain way. I have to record those videos today. I said I would, and I haven't recorded in a couple of days. Like, what am I going to do? If I don't watch this lecture now, then I'm going to be behind. I'm going to have heaps of work tomorrow. That's all just thought. We're stuck in the future. Or like, I should have watched that lecture now. I'm not going to have enough time. All this past stuff. Same deal. It's all just being lost in the future and the past. And so how could we possibly begin again while we're replaying the past or are lost in a hopeful sort of future? A future that we want to bring about by force and control. And so what do we do instead? We just presence, peace, just let it all sort of flow through. We might have a really chaotic mind. It's not like we can just turn that off. But by watching it and observing it and just seeing how things are going, feeling how things are going, that naturally sort of calms things down. Again, no force involved, just naturally sort of lets things relax. And we get a chance to take a deep breath and begin again. Take a deep breath and say, what do I want to do? I don't have to do anything. I'm not in thought about needing to and blah, blah, blah. But instead, we're just present. We're just taking it easy. And from that comes this great freedom. I was outside and it's beginning again. And maybe I could read all today. That's pretty useful. Like I could just read. Instead of making videos, I could just read. Maybe no lecture. Maybe I can go for a walk. Yeah, that's fine. But I could, maybe too, I could just do the work. Like this other thought bubbles up, this other sort of intention bubbles up. Oh, no, maybe I could make the videos. Maybe I could make them about this thing. And you go, oh yeah, maybe I could do that. Does this make sense? Like that with this ease, it relates to the doing and being mentality. Doing is like effort and force, and we need to do this. We have to do this. I have to get this done, and it's all constricted and constrained. You know what I mean? But the being mentality, which is this sort of letting go, beginning again, letting the present moment arise as it does, just sort of being a witness, being a mirror to our experience. A mirror doesn't distort or change things. A clean mirror just reflects what is arising, what is in front of it. And so we can just turn mirror mode, right? Mirror mode. Let's just reflect what's arising. No judgment. I don't have to draw a lipstick circle around part of it and big line through it. This sucks. I don't have to, tick, tick, tick. This part is cool on the mirror. We just reflect. And in this reflection, we get, what do we get? We get a chance to sink into being and to allow wants, like desire, wholesome desire to appear. When we don't have to do anything anymore, then all of a sudden it's so much more easeful to do stuff. Does this make sense? Practically speaking though, beginning again came to me through Sam Harris on the Waking Up app, which I can't recommend enough. They have a 28-day introductory course where he does 10 minutes of meditation and then 10-ish minutes of theory, where instead of just meditating, which a lot of meditation apps are just about meditation, this is also about the theory behind meditation, why we do it, how it's useful and how we can incorporate it into our day, what the goals of meditation are, what the sort of false goals of meditation are, what are the classic sort of pitfalls that we can get stuck in. He covers all this stuff over 28 days. It's brilliant. And he's a big one for beginning again. Whatever's come in the day so far, whatever's filling up your mind, whatever feeling tone you're in that demands, if I'm angry, then I have to walk around, go all grouchy And if I'm, whimsical, then I can't do anything serious. All these feeling tones come with some kind of obligation to be a certain way and to do certain things. If I'm disappointed in myself, then I have to go hard on myself during the second half of the day. If I'm disappointed in the first half of the day, that kind of thing. But by beginning again, we can kind of acknowledge all what's going on, these feeling tones, the sensations in the body, how the air feels, what we're seeing. But then we can just go, okay, we can shed the past. We can shed the past. That's like critically what's going on here. We can like wash ourselves of the day so far and realize that in this present moment right now, we have freedom. We have choices. We don't have to do anything for things to be okay. We don't have to hold our happiness hostage. We don't have to get this done, otherwise everything's ruined. No, this present moment comes with a kind of acceptance, a kind of like, okay, I'm just watching changes occur. I'm not judging them. That comes with acceptance, right? And in that acceptance, we get freedom, we get ease, we get effortlessness. And then we can, after we're chilling and we've begun again for a couple minutes and we're just taking it easy, watching things arise, it then is so much easier to get back to work. It's so much easier to open the lecture because there's no force involved. Does that make sense? Meditation, when we practice it, because it is a practice, right? It's not, we sit down on the mat to meditate, but we don't do that for the effective meditation when we're on the mat. We do that so that we have the effective meditation when we're not on the mat. So that when we get up and we go through the thing and someone says something kind of mean to us, instead of going, what the hell does that mean, dude? What the hell? Why are you saying that to me? Instead, we go like, what do you mean by that? Like we take it easy. We have this moment of reflection where we go, oh, that actually offended me a little bit. Well, I should probably not turn my offense into defensiveness and create some kind of a weird drama here. Maybe instead I can just be like, oh, they probably meant something else, but I'll ask them what they mean, like in a chill kind of way. So it's about like creating junctions in your life, reducing reactivity, which is the same sort of thing. If we're stuck in a thing of reactivity to our YouTube binge, we're going to stay in that zone. We're going to, I feel lazy now because I've done something lazy. And so out of that lazy feeling comes a lazy desire. And then we react to that lazy desire by fulfilling the lazy desire. And we're in reactivity. We're in this loop. We want to cut the loop. We want to cut the chain of causality, mental causality between emotions and thought and bodily sensations and emotion and thought and bodily sensations. Cut that and realize that we can accept where we are. We don't have to do anything for things to be okay. And then we can act freely. And meditation, by meditating regularly, we get more moments of like awareness throughout our day. You might get 5 in a day. You might get 2. You might get 10, 20, 30, depending on how much you meditate and how sort of generally mindful you are and how, if you drink more coffee, then you generally have less and, et cetera. If you stretch and your body's relaxed, then you generally have more. But meditation ultimately is like the fundamental tool with which we increase our moments of presence and then increase our chance to begin again in each moment, freeing us from mistakes that we make, freeing us from, little YouTube rabbit holes, from scrolling our phone too much, from, skipping exercise and having like a lazy morning. We get the chance to break the lazy morning mentality by just letting the laziness fall out of us through presence and then going, I could just begin again. I could just be different. I could just step into this moment of freedom and changing reality. And then, maybe I will make the video. Maybe I will watch the lecture. Maybe I will get that work done. I'll just make a start. Let's make a start without getting caught up in future present thought. This has been Kind Regards. I hope this is useful. I hope that through watching the videos on this channel, we can realize that meditation is much more than a simple sort of tool for, decreasing stress or, it's not a tool so much as it's so much more than that. But I hope this video gives you a little piece of that, like how useful it is in everyday life, how transformative it can be, and how much more freedom it can bring us, which is, who doesn't want more freedom? Yeah, there's a Substack link below where I write articles, and there's also YouTube and Spotify links so you can get the content however is most convenient for you. Yeah, if you're in a YouTube rabbit hole right now, you can close your laptop, you can close your phone, take some deep breaths, feel where you're at. If thoughts arise, that's fine. Just observe them, let them sort of fizzle out, let them dissipate. Another one will come up, let that dissipate, no problem. Thoughts can arise, frustration can arise, it's whatever. Just sort of be mindful, just feel where you're at as best you can. Be that mirror and say, I'm going to begin again. And hopefully, you'll begin again. Thanks very much. Have a great day.